Okay, people. Now that title was just intended to get your click. If you listen, you might learn something. I am so exasperated with the inefficacy of education in the United States today that I cannot help but write this essay as an emotionally charged ramble. But I will start out on the right foot by delivering first my strongest complaint. How many times have we heard the phrase math and science? There, I stumped you. You simply have no idea because you've lost count. You've heard the phrase math and science repeated in the socio-political sphere over and over and over again. The message you probably get from this psittacosis is clear. Math and science are inseparable, even synonymous with each other. Am I alone in challenging this apparent assertion? I hope not, but no matter the case, I intend to win some followers. I'll start by explaining why math and science, however related in certain cases, are by no means the same thing. Then I will explain why the sorry misconception that they are is a recipe for planetary failure on a number of different levels. Here is my definition of science. It is a passion. It is a wonder. It is a philosophy. It is a methodology. It is a way of life. Do you like watching nature documentaries? Yeah? Well, you're probably in the majority. Do you like seeing the moon at night? If you live in an urban environment, as I do you wish you could see more of the stars? Yeah? Well, you're probably in the majority. When you feel a crick in your neck, do you engage in a self-massage or exercise that brings you comfort? Yeah? Well, you're probably in the majority. Well, guess what? That's science. You like nature, you like the heavens, you like your own body. Now, as you enjoy these pursuits, do you engage in any mathematical calculations at all? I didn't think so. Suppose you even recognized that the man on PBS who informed you that Mars and Venus would line up tonight engaged in mathematics so he could make this prediction. Okay, well, did you have to? No. And how many mathematically inclined astronomers do you really need to get the job done on national television? We'll get to that later. But people, be honest, you don't really give a damn about Mars lining up with Venus or even an eclipse. You just like looking up at a beautiful starry night. Be real. Now, your knee-jerk reaction to me right now is, hey, look at all this technology. That took math. That took engineering. Again, people, be real. Does anyone expect you to be another Isaac Newton? Does the next Isaac Newton even need your help? No, young sir. He does not. Newton accomplished his most important discoveries secluded in the British countryside during an immunological epidemic. Frankly, the best way you can help the next Newton is to simply stay out of his hair, quit pestering him, and leave him alone so he can focus. Let's take a step back. If Newton doesn't need your help, then how do we explain this bloated market for the so-called science in higher education and industry? I can explain it very simply. It has to do with the modern misunderstanding of the philosophy of science. The only reason there's a large job market for you science graduates is because you're not real scientists. You're just number-crunching robots. Thanks to an economic system that depends upon the consumption of the many, science has become data-driven rather than observation-driven. How many ignoramuses who want to make a name for themselves by defying common sense have you heard say, "Show me the data"? You won't hear me saying that. Instead, I'll tell you to just get off your ass, take a walk in your own damn neighborhood and look around. Observe. That's what science is really about, and that's not the only thing you can observe. At night, open a window, turn a lamp on, and let some of these beautiful insects in. Take a close look at a katydid, a firefly, a ladybug. That's wonder, that's science. The reason most of you lack the courage to do this is because you're hearing this germophobic, death-worshipping, terrorist horse shit coming from the media all the time. And surprise, surprise, they claim it's data-driven. Have you ever wondered why children in sub-Saharan Africa have stronger immune systems than Americans? It's because they play in the dirt, drink water from a well, don't mouthwash with Cool Mint Listerine 3 times a day. That's why. Then they give their T cells a workout. Meanwhile, you're spending hard-earned dollars on products that put your T cells to sleep. I believe in Darwinian evolution. I believe in cultural evolution. I also do believe in the legitimacy of mathematical data. However, I strongly disagree with the assumption that empiricism is inherently dependent on data. A personal note, I majored in biology. As such, I am deeply disappointed that biology, which is at the top of the hard science pyramid, is becoming more data-driven. Today, aspiring intellectuals are far more likely to pick up a book by a flaming simpleton such as Richard Dawkins instead of reading the almost flawlessly written Origin of Species by Charles Darwin. I've read it, and guess what? It's a lot more informative. Why? Because it's in step with the true essence of science. It's entirely based on observation. By contrast, Dawkins is best known for getting rich by masturbating to only what is contemporary in the published sciences, and the result is a blinding obfuscation of the spirituality of our ancestors. He was arm in arm with the late Christopher Hitchens, who idiotically sneered that the Bible reads as if it were written by monkeys. And no, he did not mean it in the taxonomic sense of the word. You adolescent, technology-worshipping empiricists I've seen proliferate on my computer screen are every bit as monkey see, monkey do as the dyed-in-the-wool biblical literalists. You're both far too proud to recognize that you've shamelessly divorced sacred world poetry from much-needed anthropological and historical perspective. Well, here's a message to you atomized college kids who refuse to wake up. 800,000 years from now, you'll be wearing the silk robes we made you, worshiping at the temples we constructed, and eating sweet fruit from the trees we tend to. And each night, we will rise from the subterranean tunnels you've forced us to live in, and we will hunt your youngest. We will bite your throats with our canines and eat the dark meat of your thighs. The earth only endures, and this earth will see balance once again. Have a nice day. And coming up, a further explication of H.G. Wells's respeciation theory and the sublimation of the female killer instinct.